Hi guys. Today I thought I would like to show you all how to make pie crust. It will never fail pie crust. That's something I struggled with when I first got married, was how to make a pie crust that would actually turn out and make a decent pie. So my recipe is very easy, and I'd like to share that with you all today. So let's get to baking. Okay. So I have all my ingredients here and my mixing bowl and everything we'll need. The thing about this recipe, the ingredients are very easy to work with. There's not a lot to it. For a 2-crust pie, I use 1 cup of shortening or lard. Either one is fine. Today I'm using all vegetable shortening, which would be Crisco, or I use a generic brand sometimes also that works just fine. Okay, so I use 1 cup of shortening. So flour, the proportions in this dough, I think are what makes it so easy to successfully make a nice flaky pie dough. You use twice as much flour as shortening. If I was just going to do a 1-crust pie without a lid on it, like if I was going to do a chocolate meringue pie or something, I would use half a cup of Crisco, 1 cup of flour, and 1/4 cup of water. Today I'm going to use a 2-crust pie because I'm going to make a beef pot pie for supper. So I've used 1 cup of Crisco. I will use 2 cups of flour. This is a 2-cup measure, okay? And I will use a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in this. No, let me think a minute. Yes, a teaspoon of salt in this recipe. Sometimes I measure it in my palm of my hand. I shouldn't do that, I guess, but that's how I roll sometimes. And then you use a pastry cutter, which looks like I got this from Pampered Chef, and you just cut the shortening and the flour together. You push down and twist, and you just patiently do that, just kind of working your shortening into your flour until it comes out to looking like small crumbs, about the size of a pea. Sometimes mine are a little larger than that because I'm not a patient person, I guess. I don't know. But that's what we'll do. We will just keep working this in together until it's worked in well. Yeah, it's getting there quite nicely. Okay. I do have some pieces that are larger than peas and some that are smaller, but I feel like that's blended very well. It feels very crumbly. And that's how I am with my dough a lot when I make my hot rolls or my bread. The best way to tell is to feel of your dough. This feels very nice and crumbly. There's no shortening stuck on my hands, so I feel like that's blended very well. Okay, next I will add a 1/2 cup of water and mix this all up. And this I just added all at once. Yep. Sometimes this dough will be a little wet, sometimes it will be a little dry. And that I tell by, once again, I get my hands in there and check out my dough, see how it's going to be. This is going to be nice. It's coming together really well. It's sticking well. Yeah, this is going to be very good. It's okay if your dough is a little too sticky. Just when you roll it out on the board, add a little extra flour. And we'll do that here in a minute. I'll show you how to do that. But I felt like this video was an important one to share because this was my most challenging. When I first got married, I didn't know how to cook a lot of things. We got married on November 18th, and my husband, he volunteered me to bring pies to his grandma's house for Thanksgiving. And I was horrified. Oh my goodness, pies to grandma's house? When I haven't been married 2 weeks yet, and I knew nothing about making pie. So yeah, that was horrible. And my experience trying to make that pie crust was a horrible experience. I was not up for that challenge. Let me just put it that way. And it ended with me, I am pretty sure I'm embarrassed to tell it, but I did. I threw my pie crust across my kitchen and it smashed on the wall across the kitchen. I was so frustrated. I could not, no matter what I did, I could not make a good pie crust. But now I can because this is an awesome, easy recipe. So I have my lightly floured my pastry board and my dough. And my rolling pin. I know it looks like a sad rolling pin because the handles are off of it, but I love it so much. It's just perfect, the perfect weight for rolling. So I keep using it. When you find something good that works, stick with it, even if the handles fall off. Okay, and you're just going to gently roll, very gently, back and forth into a circular shape. Like this, and every once in a while I will pick my dough up very gently. See how the dough absorbs the flour? That can cause it to stick to your cutting board. So then I will just redust my surface and lay my dough down again very gently because dough is pretty fragile. I think I'm going to put just a little bit more flour on my dough, not much, just a little bit, because it also could stick to your rolling pin. And some things like that can be frustrating when you're trying to roll out pie crust. Also, nowadays it's very easy to go to the store, go to the refrigerated section in your grocery store, and you can purchase pie crust ready-made, and they're just fine. They're absolutely fine. I like to make things from scratch. My mom always did, but there's nothing wrong with buying your pie crust either. Can you see that? Yes. Okay, so now I have my pie plate handy, and I just kind of sit it on here because you want your pie crust to be big enough to come up the sides of your pie plate. So when I feel like I've got it rolled out just about the right diameter, I will fold it gently in half and in half again, picking it up very carefully, and I will open it a half at a time, and I will lay that half in the pie plate. Then I will very gently open the other half and lay it over as well, and then kind of push it gently in the bottom so that the bottom is covered and you've got pie crust coming up your sides of your pan. And there we go. Now I'm going to leave my crust hanging over the sides until I get my pie filling ready to go in. And then I will put the lid on, and I'll be showing you all of that in my recipe for beef pot pie. Anyway, there's how to make a no-fail pie crust. It works perfect every time. From someone who can tell you honestly that I was a horrible pie crust maker when I first started cooking during my marriage. I had a horrible time. Pie crust is something I could not figure out how to do. And now because I found the good recipe, one that works well, I wanted to share that with you. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this has helped. Please subscribe to my channel and continue watching for more fun videos. Thank you.